Welcome to our new video podcast, Finding Gina Marie. This podcast is about a journey to discover family roots and how that has taken some amazing twists and turns. That journey has also inspired us to look outside of our current home in San Francisco and try to find a place to live in Europe. But it all starts with Gina Marie. So, who's Gina Marie?
Gina Marie is the reason we're here today, and also the reason that we're exploring moving to Italy or some other place in Europe.
Any place that'll take us at this point. We're just happy to get over there.
Now we're getting a little ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Judy.
And I'm Kevin. And our journey started when we were in high school. My best friend at the time was dating someone that knew Judy. And she brought Judy to a roller rink, and we were introduced, and then left to our lonesome to say hello to each other.
And that was the disco era.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I had a afro at the time.
Yes, you did.
Skinny white guy with an afro. It's not a good look, but
And polyester shoes.
I had polyester everything.
Yeah.
It was everything. It was the era. But she was kind enough to look past all that.
Well, I was 14.
I was 16. I think right away we found a lot of things to connect with and build a relationship on. I mean, simple things in the beginning like the Beatles and just talking about family, talking about what we did, what we enjoyed. I liked music a lot. You thought that was cool at the beginning until I started quizzing you on music later on in our relationship.
It was a great relationship, and I really enjoyed spending time with you, and we were very different from one another, however.
Yes, quite different. You were the warm, fuzzy, talk about your feelings, hug, are you okay? Tell me what's wrong. And
typical Italian.
Yeah, very Italian, very, very loving. And I was brought up in a very Irish-German household, very different. So every time you would ask me about something in our relationship and talk about, what do you feel about this situation? I'm like, why are you doing this to me? Why am I opening up? That doesn't sound good at all.
My story actually started a lot sooner than that. An important thing to know about me is that I was adopted, and I've always known since before kindergarten. I just took it as a matter of fact thing that my hair is brown and I'm adopted. It was just a part of who I was.
You knew you were Italian, right?
I knew I was 100% Italian, but the parents who raised me were Polish and German.
Okay.
But I always really identified with my Italian roots.
Yeah, and you had a brother who was also adopted, so it wasn't so strange that you were the adopted kid in the family.
Not at all. Not at all. And I always felt very loved.
I mean, it's just differences in the way we were brought up, differences in where you felt like home and loving and everything else. And I was bringing a lot of baggage into the relationship. I was more of the rebel spirit. Every time someone said, go left, I'd want to go right, or go right, I'd want to go left. I
was the conformist.
You were the conformist. You were the make someone happy. And I was like, why? I had an English teacher that said, everybody in Buffalo likes to stay with family. They like to stick around here. About 70% of you will just stay in town and in class. I said, no, I'm not going to. I want to go out there and do stuff. I was trying to learn guitar. I was trying to be a musician. I wanted to go on the road on concerts and had this mindset that suddenly I was just going to be a roamer and just do things out there that were unconventional.
I knew that was part of the way you thought, but I didn't really hold much stock in it.
She didn't hold much stock in it because my guitar playing was really bad. So she felt like there's no way this guy is going to make it as a musician. No, I'm pretty safe with that.
Not at all. Not at all. It was more the idea that I didn't really know anybody who'd ever moved out of the Buffalo area, and we really hadn't traveled very much as a family. Right. I just thought, okay, this is just something about Kevin. I was always close to family. I worked multiple jobs. I did what I felt like you were supposed to do or what society taught you. And you were much more unconventional in that respect.
Well, yeah, and I also had family that had moved. So while I was in high school, my last 2 years of high school, my one sister moved to Houston, Texas, and then my other sister moved to Houston, Texas. And they moved because the airlines moved their husbands. And so I figured, well, my family is already out of Buffalo. My core family is down there. I can go down there. I can go anywhere. I get to move too, right? So I had some experience moving where you are like, but all my family's in Buffalo.
Sure. And your father worked a lot of hours too. So I feel like that may have had something to do with
being unconventional. Yeah. I didn't like long hours. I didn't like the idea of 9 to 5. I saw what he was putting up with. He was a local truck driver. And he worked really hard hours and in the cold of Buffalo. And it's like, why would you do that to yourself? As he got older, his job was wearing him down. And I'm thinking, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to punch a time clock. And I told him that. And he just kind of smiled. He's like, okay, Kev, that's a good thought. But, life doesn't work that way. You can't just do whatever you want to. We had a lot of discussions about that kind of stuff. Our relationship was great. So it's not like going to break up just because I had the idea that maybe we were going to move somewhere.
Well, and I just think that we were very different. And I think I just tolerated some of your different opinions.
I mean, you definitely were good about putting up with my opinions about what should be different, what should change. And, I had the whole baggage of my family saying, you're going to be the first one to go to college. So I wasn't exactly going to go on the road as a musician. That wasn't going to happen. So I was trying to be a little conventional. My dad wanted me to go to college. He didn't care what I took. He just wanted me to go to college. So I went to local college, Erie Community College, nothing fancy, but I took the entrance exams. They said, you got good scores, join the computer science program, which I'd never heard of. I was barely touching computers when I walked by one of the Radio Shack stores or something.
Well, and let's be fair, there really weren't computers.
Yeah.
They weren't ubiquitous at all.
No. It was. I always thought of them as people in the back room punching cards or something. Yes. It was weird. But I felt like, okay, so I'm going to go to college. I'll get this degree. And I happen to like computers, so it worked out well. You were busy finishing up school, high school. Were we engaged already? When did we get engaged?
When I graduated.
When you graduated?
3 months after graduation.
3 months after graduating high school. Yeah.
Actually 2, I guess. It was August of 82.
So, her parents were happy about me then.
Not really.
Unconventional.
They did like you better than they liked me. So you had that going for you.
I had a little wiggle room there.
After we got engaged, we were supposed to get married, and we ended up changing the date of our wedding because you were planning to go away to school.
Well, that was early then, because how's that working out?
What do you mean? How's that working out?
I guess I took a semester off.
Yes, you did, because your computer science program wasn't ready to start.
No, I didn't even.
You wanted to spend. Yeah, see, again, unconventional. You wanted to spend a semester traveling to Houston.
Well, I was looking at colleges in Houston. Actually, I was looking at music degrees in Houston. So I had a couple of colleges down there, and that was part of that semester off. The semester off was just, I didn't really know if I wanted to go to college. I didn't have a choice, really. I mean, I think that wasn't in the cards, but I was thinking, maybe I really don't want to do this, because I didn't know what I want to take besides music. And when I started to feel like I wasn't really good at music, I kind of felt backed into a corner. It's like, well, maybe I don't know what I'm doing. I think I stressed you out a bit because...
Definitely didn't want to be the person who was the primary breadwinner because you were finding yourself.
Yeah, definitely a problem.
I mean, you had decided that you were taking a semester off way back, right? You took a semester off before you went to ECC.
Right. So I graduated high school. I took a semester off, and then I went to ECC, did my 2 years there, a little over 2 years. And during that time, I started a company with my dad's friend. So that was the timeline for that. And it was later in that. I mean, I started working with him early on, and he started paying me. So I quit my Taco Bell job. Gave me kind of a taste of that entrepreneurial spirit, which is like, well, this is cool. I don't have to punch a clock if I can make my own hours and just do things. And then things got more complicated as I graduated college. Then I went to a 4-year university, and our wedding date had been changed to that December of 83. So
well, not really. I think that the intention was that you were actually looking at going to a 4-year school in Texas.
But that was earlier.
No.
Yeah, that was before I went to ECC.
No.
Yes, it was that semester break that I was taking.
Kevin, no, it was not.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm telling you right now. Listen. After I had started...
We got engaged, in 1982. You were already in college. We didn't get engaged until 1982. And we thought we were going to get married right away because you were going to be in school. And we were going to get married in June. We had a June wedding date. And that June wedding day, June 11th.
Wow.
Hi, June 11th.
That.
And we ended up postponing it because we realized that, okay, we would get married in June and then you would go away back to school and you weren't going to be finished until that December. And it didn't make sense for us to like set up house only to then have to move to Texas.
That must have been really early in 92 then that we were talking
82?
about. 82? 92.
Well, we got engaged in August and we talked about it in August, September, because I remember my mother sitting down with me and asking, so this is going to be a long engagement, right? And I remember specifically telling her, well, no, we were thinking about getting married in June because that's when you would have been free. Like maybe you were planning to start college either in the fall or in January.
Yeah, I guess. All right. It's a long time ago. To be fair, this is a long time ago, okay? There's about 4 active brain cells up here, so I'm lucky I remember any of this. I'm amazed you remember some of those dates. It's
well, all I'll say is that this walk down memory lane is really good for us to get in sync.
Yeah, definitely. There were some major life events that happened after we got married. And I think it's better just to talk about that in the next episode. We can dig a little deeper into those.
Yeah, that'll bring us a little bit closer to finding Gina Marie as well.
Sound like a plan.
If you're catching this episode on YouTube, please give us a like. And if you're listening to us on your favorite podcast player, leave a review for us in the comments. If you'd like to follow along so you don't miss any episodes, consider subscribing.
You can learn more about us at findingginamarie.com. Hit us up on Twitter. Ask us any questions you want in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We're open to any comments, any questions. And
links are in the show notes.
Until
next time.
I'm Kevin, and our story started when we were both back in high school. Where did we meet, Judy?
Let's not do that.
I know.
Oh my God. This is not good because now I'm crying. Don't do that again. Oh my God. Hold on. Troublemaker.
Talent is gone.
Oh, my stomach.